So this is in essence a summary of the vision and what we plan to achieve from Fleming Protocol. And we're hoping to pilot this ecosystem within Africa initially, because all of the places in the world, Africa has the most need for such an ecosystem. And the first element of the system is having a system which funds R&D open source projects using crypto economic systems. So in essence, providing new ways to fund, but also providing scientists with the opportunity to monetize their contributions, their expertise, intellectual property, etc. The second point is around having an open source collaboration ecosystem. So having the kind of system in place which is underpinned with incentives that encourage data sharing, collaboration, peer review, and contributions, whether those be scientific expertise or financial contributions.
I'm Grant Scholl. I'm the founder and CEO of the team building Playermint. So here we've got the leaderboard interface, and this is where people earn their PMX through gameplay performance. So on the left here, we have the different epochs where the rewards are being distributed, and the current players, and like your stats, and then below is a leaderboard that shows where the players are ranked. So this is a look at the marketplace. This is where all the NFTs move around and are traded. And so then you can also create an NFT, add these different properties, assign a royalty, things like that. And we wanted to be open to as much creativity as possible. And then the profile, so you can display your NFTs, see what collections you have or that are on sale or that you have created, and then also access your wallet up here. And then connect your wallet. So we're working on making it so that you can connect your Roy and Daedalus, and then the Playermint wallet, of course. And we're going to be having our own town halls in our own Discord, where people can stay updated with our progress.
Sharon lives in Mozambique, and she's actually the financial manager at our partner Casa Real, who is a affordable housing developer in Mozambique. And Sharon will never be able to qualify for a mortgage. The financial systems in Mozambique, there are 600 mortgages in a country of 30 million people. She has no chance of ever getting a house or a mortgage built. Empowa is seeking to change that. Our Catalyst project is to prove that we can deliver housing, environmentally friendly housing, that is cyclone proof. Because if you look at Mozambique, Mozambique is one of the countries that's most impacted by climate change. We want to empower Sharon to be able to afford that, to demonstrate that we can do that. And we want to prove that Cardano is the basis for this.
Now, this idea is quite a different one. You have top traders, and like on the blockchain, like if they do decentralized trading, that's available data. If they do it on centralized exchange, often this data is public as well. So why not follow those traders and make similar decisions? Like that, the best way is to, well, there are a few cons to that. Like sometimes those traders are aware that they are followed, so they like basically start engaging in front running. They make decisions that they know will move the market because they are followed. So that's why we need an ensemble, for example, like 500 traders that they are put into the machine learning network called Ensemble that's composed of many different algorithms. And the algorithms can either duplicate the decision they make and then they'll be weighted at the end, or they can fulfill their different purpose. For example, like it can be risk management or the control of the exposure of the decisions you make. And basically as it goes, you can also track the performance of the traders, the trust, and you can have a DAO for submitting new ideas, how to change this portfolio management process, etc.
The proposal I'm going to be talking about here is automated market makers for continuous financing. Basically, it's just a Plutus bonding curve module and SDK. And we're aiming to provide a fast and flexible way to embed financial instruments or decentralized financial instruments into your DApp. Okay, so this proposal could equally fit in the developer ecosystem, but it's actually sitting in the Scale Up Cardano DeFi ecosystem proposal for Fund 5. All right. The core idea of the proposal is to leverage what at basically a very simple sort of primitive, which underpins many of the DEXs and loan protocols and quite a lot of other things that you find in the DeFi ecosystem, and actually extends a lot further into other things, which includes voting. And that is a bonding curve, which is basically the idea of a mathematical relationship between a supply token and a token price for what you're trying to convert to. And that is really the core idea.
A problem that is very common in my line of business is a cyber attack called business email compromise. And the business email compromise, basically a cyber attacker comes in and then convinces the victim to pay, to settle the invoice on a fraudulent bank account. Now, we are working to develop a solution that is Becky, basically, which is a decentralized application that allows users to sign and verify documents from the comfort of their own email application. Now, the way we envision Becky is basically just an email plugin, as you see here. And then from the comfort of it, you will be able to create digital signatures for your document, certify them, and make sure that tampering those documents is no longer possible. So keep sending the emails as you would, and then create digital identity, so self-sovereign identities using the Solid project. Sign those documents with your self-sovereign identity, and then publish the signed message on a middle layer between the Cardano blockchain and the normal solution. And then what we do is every 15 minutes or so every epoch, we combine all of the transactions that happened before then, we create the Merkle root, and then we publish that Merkle root on the Cardano blockchain using, and then we use the metadata feature of the transaction to add the transaction IDs that point back to our blockchain, and then prove how this Merkle root was created, prove what transaction happened, so adding a layer of security.
My name's Sean McMurdo. I am presenting the ALLIN social betting platform. Also here in the room is Ryan Sweeney, who is the co-founder of Inside Line and our chief marketing officer. I'm the CTO. Our mission really is to connect people through social media to make bets that are fair and free. We want to provide the opportunity for people to take advantage of the technologies such as blockchain technology to be able to remove the middleman. The problem is that the existing players in this space control they have all the power. They set all the odds. They control players by limiting them or even preventing them from placing bets if they're too successful. And everyone knows that the house always wins in the end. So our solution is to leverage the blockchain technology to provide peer-to-peer betting for people through their favorite social media. And using the power of the Cardano blockchain, we'll be able to make sure that those bets are fair, verifiable, and transparent, and free of the middleman.
Hello, my name is Ken Stanton, and I'm here in Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, and I'm here with my friend Gift. And my proposal is mobile Plutus and Marlowe dev tools. And one of the things I'm doing here in Malawi is teaching some of my friends about functional programming. And a lot of people here have smartphones, but not laptops. And so I was trying to make a way that's easier to practice development on a smartphone. So like basically, I study how different programming languages work and how the semantics of different languages relate to each other. finding better ways to teach functional programming in a way that's easily accessible here in Malawi.
Youbiquitor is essentially the last app you will ever need to download. Youbiquitor is an app that connects independent contractors, freelancers, small and medium-sized businesses, and consumers in a much more affordable and efficient way, and offers everyone the ability to market their business, services, skills, talents, and expertise directly to their community. So how many apps do you need? Just one if you choose Youbiquitor. Some of the features on there would be that we support various industry types. Whether you're a handyman, a plumber, a teacher, babysitter, you will be able to advertise your service immediately to your community and be able to book future jobs or instant jobs. This is really the key element to Youbiquitor, is anytime that you add another skill to your profile, something else that you're going to offer your community, and you get connected with somebody, you two now have a connection on the app that stays with you forever. So in the future, if one of those people searches for one of the things that the other person might also be offering, that person will show up as one of the first options for them to reconnect with.
So yeah, persona, adapt for political personas. What we want to do, we see that democracy really needs a drastic upgrade, and I think a lot of people can agree with that. But it's not so easy to change such an established a system in which country. But there is a way to kind of tweak it, because we see this gap between a political party and the people they represent, and there is still a gap of misinformation or the lack of information about the citizens a political party is representing. I see it in the Holland, but I also see it in Colombia, my other country, but also at other countries in Europe. That's when we started thinking of what if we could create our own political party. And from that point came the idea for, well, if we have such a political party, how do we receive data from our community? And that's where the idea began for Persona. Adapt together all those information, because we could provide a database with useful information about citizens to political parties. And in this case, it could be our political party, but we want to challenge other political parties in the Netherlands to also start using it, because we want a way to facilitate use of that information so that political parties could represent the people in, I think, a much better way.
I have a Catalyst Fund 5 proposal called Kitty Party Lending Circle. Depending on where you're born, people don't have the same rights in terms of access to opportunities. And one thing I noticed was that the main way for people to get access to opportunities is via credit in developing countries, in developed countries. And quite frankly, for people who are unbanked, there is no form of credit. So then I actually found out that there's actually a way communities provide credit amongst themselves by doing something called rotating savings and credit association, also known as a kitty party. And that's basically how this idea came out. Basically, I took their brilliant solution and we're trying to scale that from a small village and your trusted friends to people across the world. So yeah, Kitty Party is a decentralized lending circle protocol. And for those of you who don't know what a lending circle is, it's basically where members, about 20 people, 40 people, as much as you want, pool money together and they take turns using it. One thing that's also really cool, because we're using smaller groups, they could almost act as mini DEOs, and that's where we have the self-governance amongst the group themselves.
Before actually getting into the proposal itself, I guess the question that needs to be answered is, why do we need standards? To be able to move a token from one blockchain to another, that's not really going to be possible if the destination blockchain doesn't understand the format of the NFT. Fund 5 proposal that we've got in for NFT DAO is actually to join the Interwork Alliance. Now, the Interwork Alliance have a membership fee, And the reason why we think it would be valuable for us to join the Interwork Alliance is because, firstly, we can obviously give Cardano representation into the discussions around those standards. But secondly, they will provide certification of different technologies that are compliant with their standard. And that ties back to the adoption question of, if people want to use the NFT DAO framework and be confident that it's going to have the standards that are required to, secure their NFTs, then having this certification will be an important step in that process.
The goal of this is to write a detailed, step-by-step and thorough guide with usable templates for off-chain computation using Plutus. The guide will concentrate on developing something I have dubbed a deterministic finite blockchain. A deterministic blockchain is a blockchain where every action is automated. This means that the mining, trading, validation, mixing, any aspect of a blockchain that could exist is completely deterministic. This is a great way to represent a game with a finite number of actions and a known amount of players. The general algorithm for this blockchain involves a mining phase, a trading phase, a checking phase, which determines if the payout or the increment phase could happen. Each trade is completely determined by an automated market. Each transaction must satisfy the conservation equation determined by a constant mean product automated market. Thus, the system is conserved and allowed to dynamically evolve with increasing block numbers.
The Cardano wallet SDK. Currently, I've set up what's called public wallets, and I don't know if everybody's aware, but once you stake your Cardano, your transactions are all linkable. So if given your staking address, you can plug that in and it'll generate a read-only wallet. So that's what I'm doing now, just to get my feet wet. And once I've got that all fleshed out, you can already, it's already live. I load a couple test wallets from the testnet. And so you can play around with those. I'm slowly filling out the different pages of the app. And then once that's working, I'm going to do a wallet where you can actually send sign and send transactions, and that'll be the second phase. And awesome. I'm probably going to do the project whether I get the funding or not. The funding's really not that important to me. What I think the funding would do is kind of commit me to finish it.
Let's first start by explaining what safety in numbers is. We're a collective of individual entities and groups, and we all collaborate together. And we actually aim for three types of people. First of all, people who are just really engaged and want to help their own language community by offering education and prevention and news in their own native language. Secondly, we want to have artists and people who really believe and want to invest in their own skills and perhaps start as a little side job and then become more profitable and grow. And thirdly, we want to have also people who really want to make blockchain their whole way of earning a living. And so we actually do that by using the Cardano tools and following the mission, because we want to make helping people profitable. That's why we focus on educational content now in our first priority. They can really learn about Cardano. And when they then learn about what Cardano is, they can, and how special it is, then they can learn where to go when they have their own idea and learn where they can be finest and catalyst. The end mission of safety in numbers is to help create a level playing field for those people from the developing countries.
So basically, as the name indicates, the project is on starting student clubs in Addis Ababa, starting with Addis Ababa and expanding to the rest of the country. We'll start with 3 different phases. The first one would be in terms of recruiting the ambassadors, that we would call them. The ambassadors would be in charge of recruiting other students, distributing brochures, running several events. But in order to do that, our first step would be to engage the university students through different introductory seminars and teaching them basics of blockchain, Cardano, just get them the basic idea. After that, it is the next step would be to the expansions program. This is where this side we expect to engage over 1,000 students in around 50 new campuses, 50 new colleges or universities, and we hope to have an additional 50 new ambassadors. We feel that they would be more engaged within the community as well and help the Cardano community to grow within the country and also globally.
We're working in collaboration with WADA, and we're decentralized dev centers that will create no-code centers of excellence across Africa. Our goals for this project is to set up a way that Africa can capture some of the $4 trillion global spend on IT, to add jobs in Africa. And it will also increase the developer community of Cardano by maybe 100,000-fold, because now it's not just developers, but anybody can create applications on Cardano.
So as I understand it, Tim, this is going to be a no-code implementation. So anybody with any level of technical skills could come in and start creating
smart contracts dApps, integrations between off-chain and on-chain. We're actually active now on Fabric and Ethereum, but the idea is to add, we're going to add Cardano here.
We are the founders behind NFT.io project. We want to build an NFT gallery. We want to empower artists and create sales and auction features, and want many more to come on our roadmap. And we want to allow you to create NFTs or mint your own tokens, if you like, sell them, buy them, or even collect them, depending on your interest, without limit, removing any barriers, be it technical, social, whatever.
We've already conquered the coin selection algorithm. We've already conquered the EUTXO model, less smart contracts, of course, but we're both currently in the Plutus program, so stay tuned on that one. We've conquered everything that strikes fear into the heart of every programmer, and we've done that in 4 months. We've developed a number of in-house solutions, including the ability to mint up to, in some cases, 60 NFTs. We use a simple CSV file format, making it very easy and understandable to the artists who might actually not be very technical at all. We've also refined our own server stack to ensure high security against both automated scripts and manual attacks.
Hi everyone, my name is Roe Matthew, and I'm an engineer and developer with the AdaGov team. Climate change, misinformation, and geopolitical polarization are a class of problems known as wicked problems because of how they are tightly intertwined with other issues. Now, when you take a step back and you look at them as a whole, these seem less like an issues unto themselves, but symptoms of a much larger problem. There seems to be an issue with the way we as a species make decisions. So we're witnessing today a society struggling under the burden of scale, the bottleneck of governance, the mistrust of information, and the apathy between leaders towards people that they lead. And this is where AdaGov comes in. We want to build a toolkit that humanity needs for modern, humane self-governance. Let's reward people proportional to the lasting change and improvement and well-being that they create. One thing is clear, for the technology to work, it has to be designed well without profit or other objectives as a primary goal. We have 2 objectives at AdaGov. The first is that in order to talk about governance, we need to remove the opinions and subjectivity and talk about it in a common language that is mathematics and peer-reviewed science. Our approach is to treat governance as an information processing system that can use human collective intelligence to determine the best projects and policies.
after Fund 3, we did like some early recaps where the community advisors, the CAs, were getting together and meeting and discussing. One of the outcomes that came from that was a lack of informational website. Basically, the idea was that we identified who the people were, proposers, voters, and other people, community advisors, plus other people coming into Catalyst that are new, and just kind of let them go through the process of learning and finding the tools. If other CAs know of the site, they can link people to here. We also have like a funds timeline that we're working with AdaGov. So basically, if you asked me what the timeline for Fund 5 is, I'd share this link with you and explain to you how the Gantt chart works. That so there's voting, the snapshots, for instance, if you want to know when that is, here it is here on July 19th at 11 o'clock.
So yes, my name is Temo, and I'm admin in Project Catalyst Discord server since it started, and I also enjoy designing and structuring Miro boards. So the first few purposes and goals are, it's just a nice visual representation for the data compared to having this text-based data on the Discord, it also, the goal is to have a safe place to share the information. So, and to keep the scope down to the Project Catalyst, and also a place to onboard new people. So these are the three main keys. And on that, the third note, the pain point is the Miro board navigation. So it's a new tool. Like for some people, the Discord is also a new tool. So I take this board as an example how to like navigate Miro boards and how you can make it as simple to onboard and just understand how to browse around. And so what is going to be on that Miro board is like the first main question. Mentioned at start like resources and sources. So how to use Miro board, how to use Discord, how to use Discord bots if you're going to be more advanced, and then more links to like websites and idea scale and proposals.
My name is Greg, and together with Fragi, would like to talk about our proposal, which is Arnot iOS SDK.
Hi, I'm Fragi. I'm a software engineer, and I'm passionate about iOS apps and cryptocurrencies. Combined with Greg, we have more than 20 years of experience, and we have worked in many large-scale apps. Some of them belong to banks and fintech companies.
We would like our tool to be used by all mobile developers that are planning to interact with Cardano network. Aim of this SDK is to do all the heavy lifting needed for interaction with the Cardano network, so that mobile developers can focus on what they know the best, which is building apps.
The iOS SDK provides us already cryptographic support, and we plan to use these algorithms. Code that is developed by cryptography experts and is well tested. The main purpose of our SDK is to provide an interface that any API can connect to. The API consumers, all they have to do is write an adapter class, and that's it.
We would like this project to be open source, to allow the community to drive discussion and exchange opinions. Please reach out, ask questions, and let's build it together.
Our proposal is to create micro tasks and micro challenges, or miniature proposals within the proposal. Allow the community to define challenges, issues, things that come up during the campaign lifecycle. So what we want to do is create a safety net to allow more people to get involved, work on things, and to push value and financial incentives into the community. Catalyst in general is not really a collaboration so much as it is a competition. So it's really hard for entrepreneurs and developers of any and all skill levels to compete or collaborate. We collaborate with the Swarm, working on the CA school, participants and organizers, part of Gimbal Labs, part of WADA. Well, do you want collaboration? Do you want the community to grow? Do you want to see Cardano succeed, not only in the short term, but in the long term? because that's what this will do. It's a short-term, small investment that will pave the way for larger returns.
My proposal is called on-chain trust. My dream is to be able to invest in real-world properties like real estate just as easily as I can invest in cryptocurrency. There are some pieces missing because it's still not possible today. But I think with on-chain trust, we can get a little bit closer to that reality. On-chain trust is a score that will be kept on the Cardano blockchain. So it will be permanent, it will be public, it will be verifiable by anyone. And the way you gain trust is by engaging in some transactions that are defined according to the standard. And that standard is what I would like to work on with this idea. So the way it will work is that we will have some smart contract that will generate some tokens that will represent part ownership of some property, for example, a real estate.
We heard the criteria that was the aim, thousands of proposals per fund. So we started looking at ways of using machine learning to automate the ingestion of proposals. So we're already doing Calendly, automatic calendaring, and setting up appointments with people automatically. We've been doing that for a couple of months now. And we're going to be expanding that to process some of the inputs with machine learning libraries from Wolfram. So basically forms, grabbing the input, analyzing the sentiment of the inputs, and modeling what might be best for the various stages of the proposal process.
Well, my name is Jason Picaro. My idea and proposal is the Daedalus wallet node SBC devices. Basically is to replace a full-size PC.
The interface, to be able to interface with that, is like a touch screen, is it? Or would you have to still attach devices like a keyboard or mouse, or?
No, it's self-contained, sir. It's all just a touchscreen device.
It's a touch screen.
Right here, see? Yeah, the pop-up is very easy. Right here, see? The menu is super simple. It's a Linux screen. It's very easy.
Jason, if I understand correctly, you made a cheaper available solution to access the Cardano network that can use very little energy, that can be battery powered, and that can work in an unstable power grid, let's say. And Jason, in case you get funded, what is the goal of the project? Is it mass production? Is it
only mass production? Everything else is done. The app is done. I've used 4 years of my own money to fund this. No one's paid me to do this. My wife and I have put our own hard work into this, and then the funding is just to multiply, nothing more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this presentation on Fund 5, Paper Wallet Terminal. The idea about the Paper Wallet Terminal is to make it easy for everybody to buy ADA, so lowering the barrier to entry. And with a paper wallet, you could do that without a bank, phone, or in the internet. You could just buy ADA with cash. The device has a privacy cover. It uses a 7-inch touch display for user interaction. And it has a Raspberry Pi inside. A camera facing the user. So this you can use to communicate with phones, for example. Is connected to the paper wallet terminal. And the paper wallet terminal is then the user-facing device. And the display is the shop owner-facing device. This could be a touchscreen, so then you do not need a keyboard or a mouse. This is the basic way I see it working when you don't pay in cash. You could just use like an app on the phone.
My name is Evgeny, and I'm from Russia. And my proposition is to translate Charles Hoskinson's video blog, YouTube video blog, into the Russian language. Why to do so? I'm a newbie in the blockchain technology. I got involved only this year, and for my decision what blockchain technology is to support was watching the Charles Hoskinson's videos. My proposition is to translate each of these videos into the Russian, so we have created a demo how it would look like, and hopefully this channel would rise in views and would be mature in time.
Is it a challenge setting in Fund 5? And it's going to be, this solution will be given in Fund 7. It's DeFi CeFi. Is how do we create a seamless integration between fiat and ADA? I can't go into my solution because this is a challenge setting. So this is the setting. How do we make ADA spend like money? How do we do that?
So it sounds like you're proposing a new category.
I am proposing the same thing I've been proposing since day one. I'm just proposing it in a different format. I'm putting the challenge setting, this DeFi CeFi, just as it was back in Fund 3 for community choice. This is the same thing. Don't get confused on it. This is exactly the same thing.
So are you suggesting that we create a new category specifically for?
I'm saying that we are creating I'm asking for the community to create a challenge setting, which will be that 400,000 that I'm asking for in Fund 5, to go to Fund 7 to create one environment to make ADA and fiat integrate seamlessly. One environment. So that 400,000 plus whatever else is needed. It's going to cost probably just a little over $1 million. Don't be like, oh, $1 million to change the way a global financial system works? Yes, it's going to take at least as much as it costs to make one McDonald's. One.
Hi, I'm Francesco from ASDra. There are 1.7 billion unbanked population worldwide. Why people remain unbanked? You can see that percentage of bank account per population are quite low in many countries. On the other hand, the mobile connections are much higher. The Philippines has a population of 109 million people, but only 34.5% of adults have a bank account. However, mobile phone connections are approximately 1.5 phones per person. This means that the percentage of people with bank accounts could increase drastically with ASDra. Introducing ASDra Move, a financial revolution at your fingertip. Your money, your term, transfer, invest, loan, borrow. We have reimagined how users create and manage crypto wallets, utilizing the wallet creation to hold and save on user devices and user clouds. No more writing or losing the keys. Not only do we want to use a blockchain that is inherently secure, fast, and with lower fees, but we are also targeting anyone who is currently unbanked or has limited access to the traditional banking system, and also anyone who dreams of a better, less complicated, secure and easy way to transfer money globally.